So we are at that part of the year again where the EFL has decided to release their Championship official team of the season. Despite the fact that there are still 8 games to play in this league campaign and anything could change between now and the end of the season, the EFL thought, no, we'll throw the Championship team of the season out now. They always do this around March time and it always annoys me, but even so, as you can see on screen now, that is who they have selected. And there are some quite controversial picks in there. Some pretty big players have missed out, which we will be discussing in today's video. So I want to get your guys' initial reaction to what you made of the team of the season. Do you agree with it or not? Last year as well, I remember there being a couple of controversial picks. John Terry made it last year, if I remember correctly, and no Cardiff players, despite the fact that they went on to get automatic promotion. So the EFL always has, you know, a bit of a botch-up job with some of these picks, and they really have stretched some of the positions that these guys play. For example, Reece James at centre-back, I've got no idea what that's about. I'll also be giving you guys my alternative Championship team of the season for players who didn't make it into the official team, but I feel like deserve a mention for what they've done so far. So let me know down below who would make it into your team, but without further ado, let's go through this and have a chat about it. So starting out in goal, they've gone for Darren Randolph. I don't really have too many complaints about this one. Realistically, the best goalkeeper in the league this season is probably either Darren Randolph or Dean Henderson. Both have kept 16 clean sheets so far this season. Randolph has conceded the fewest amount of goals so far, only 31 he's let in for Middlesbrough. However, the thing that annoys me about them doing the team of the season at this stage is that Dean Henderson is on absolute fire at the moment. He's kept 7 clean sheets in a row, and if he keeps that form up from now until the end of the season, then he'll probably deserve to be in there just above Darren Randolph. So it's a bit annoying that they've chosen it at this point in the season, but at this stage, I don't have too many complaints about Randolph being in there. He's been a top keeper for Borough so far. He's kept them in a lot of games, and there's no doubt he's one of the best in the league. As our 2 fullbacks, we got 2 Norwich City Academy graduates. We got Max Aarons and Jamal Lewis. Once again, don't have too many complaints about this. Both have been very good players for Norwich so far this season. Really, they have. This has been their breakthrough year, and what a year it has been for them. Max Aarons especially, I've absolutely loved watching play, making those bursting runs going forward. He's got brilliant quality on the ball, and his energy really does fit into this Daniel Farke system. Left back, maybe a little bit more up for debate with Jamal Lewis and Ender Stevens from Sheffield United. I think he's a little bit unlucky to miss out on this side. With Sheffield United being very good defensively so far, he's also picked up 6 assists from that left wing back role for them so far, but it's sort of a toss up between Ender Stevens and Jamal Lewis for that left back position once again, but I don't have that many complaints about it. In that centre back, it got a little bit controversial. The first pick they went for was Reece James. Now, I actually quite like the fact that they have picked Reece James. It shows that they've not completely just gone for players, you know, at the top of the Championship, and they do recognise some of the players from some of the clubs lower down, and Reece James has been absolutely phenomenal. The only controversial thing about this is that he's not a centre back. He's not played in that position all season. He has played in quite a diverse number of roles, either as a fullback or in midfield, and he's played both positions fantastically well, but he's not been a centre back throughout this season. But even so, Reece James on loan from Chelsea has been, no doubt he's been Wigan's best player so far this season by an absolute country mile. Whenever I've watched Wigan play this season, it's been Reece James standing out by far. And I go as far as to say he'll be an England international in the future as well. The potential on this guy is really frightening. And then Liam Cooper from Leeds comes in to make the last man of the defence. Now, this last centre-back spot could have gone to a large number of players, really. Adam Webster from Bristol City has been brilliant. Pontus Jansson from Leeds, equally been brilliant for them. And any centre-back from Sheffield United is worth a mention in this one. But Liam Cooper so far, he has had a very good season for Leeds. When he was injured earlier on this season, around December time, I think that Leeds badly missed him during that spell. They were playing Phillips at centre-back, and they conceded a couple of suspect goals then. But Liam Cooper being in the side, I don't have many complaints about that. Been a very good defender for them so far, and he has had a very good partnership with Jansson. And speaking of Calvin Phillips moving into the midfield, he was the next player to make it in. So far, it's been absolutely brilliant playing that anchor role in midfield for them, breaking up play. He's been an integral part of this Bielsa system. However, if you were to say to me that only one player out of Phillips or Hernandez could make this team of the season, I'd be picking Hernandez, in all honesty. I'd like to know Leeds fans' opinions on that. If you could only have one of them in this team, who would you select? Myself, I go for Hernandez, but Phillips, that's not taking anything away from his game so far. He's had to play quite a number of games in the defence so far, but I'd say his best position has been in that defensive midfield role. You can see the effects that Bielsa has had on some of the individuals of this Leeds squad, and I think that Phillips has been a player who has hugely benefited from the coaching of Bielsa. You know, his improvements from the last few seasons has been absolutely staggering this year, so it's nice to see a player like Phillips in there for sure. We've then got Ollie Norwood from Sheffield United, this season scoring 3 goals and picking up 8 assists, and this one didn't come as a massive surprise either. Norwood has been absolutely tremendous for the Blades this season. In terms of set-piece deliveries, being able to dictate a game from deep-line playmaker positions, picking that final killer pass, and just being that real gem of quality in that Sheffield United midfield. I think it would be fair to say he's been one of the best signings of this season so far. He's had an average match rating of 7.44, and I'd probably say he's been their best player this season. Then to complete the midfield three, we had Jared Jarrod Bowen scoring 21 goals and picking up 3 assists this season. It really was Bowen and Grosicki's form which really catapulted Hull up the league. Earlier on this season they were dwindling in the lower parts of the table, but they really had one rapid rise of form earlier on in the season. But Jarrod Bowen has been absolutely terrific. He sort of reminds me of Iron Robin a little bit, playing on that right hand side. He's so deadly with his left foot, and defenders know what he's going to do. They know he's going to cut onto that left foot and look to bend it into that far post, but he's so hard to stop, really nimble on the ball, and he's mastered that chop inside and finish into the far post superbly. So Jarrod Bowen making it in, he'll be snapped up in the summer, I mean, no doubt. And into our forward three, we got Che Adams scoring 21 goals and picking up 3 assists, the same amount of goal contributions as Jarrod Bowen so far. Che Adams' rise of form really has come out of nowhere. Last season in the league, he only scored 5 goals. Birmingham quite struggled for scoring last year. They were the lowest scorers with Burton Albion, but this season, the partnership between Adams and Jugovic, they've really worked with each other fantastically well. There was a lot of interest in January for Adams, and there was a bit of a worry that he would be sold. That interest is probably going to come back in the summer, and I would probably be surprised if Adams was still a Birmingham player this time next season, but even so, he's been absolutely brilliant for the Blues this year. He scored 2 hat-tricks so far this season, one against Hull and one against QPR, and I'm sure there's plenty more goals to come for the rest of this season. So Che Adams, he's had a good year for sure. Billy Sharp, to add to that, he's always been a clinical striker, but this season he's really taken his game to the next level, scoring 22 goals and picking up 3 assists for the Blades. He's also scored 2 hat-tricks so far this season and a couple more braces, come up with a lot of clutch goals for Sheffield United so far, and despite being at the age of 33, he's still scoring for fun. And then to round off the side, we had to have Teemu Pukki. There is no doubt in my mind, he is just hands down the signing of the season. Coming in on a free, he scored 24 goals and got 9 assists as well. Absolute joke of a player so far this season, Teemu. But it's not just his ability to score goals, it's his vision to create for others as well, getting 9 assists so far this season. When he did sign for Norwich in the summer, I was under the impression that he'd be played in that number 10 role this season, with Jordan Rhodes being their main focal point going forward. But with his knack for popping up with big moments for Norwich, he's really made that number 9 position into his own this season, and is without doubt deserving of making it into this side. But there are my opinions of the players who have made it into this championship team of this season, and now we will move on into 11 players who I feel like have been slightly unfortunate to miss out on this 11. And so I'll show you guys on screen now. That would be my best 11 players who didn't make it in to the official team of the season. So we'll go through some of these picks. Even when making my 11, I had to leave out some pretty big players who have also been tremendous this season. But starting out in goal, I've gone for Dean Henderson. A couple more goalkeepers worth a shout. Jack Butland, I've liked the look of this season. Same for Marek Rodak at Rotherham as well. But Dean Henderson this season, 16 clean sheets, 7 in a row lately. I had to throw him into this one. The back three I decided to go for was Pontus Jansson, John Egan and Adam Webster. I could have thrown in any Sheffield United centre-back. Jack O'Connell could easily make it into that side as well. The midfield four I went for was Joe Lolly, John McGinn, Alan Brown and Pablo Hernandez. How Pablo Hernandez didn't make it into the official team is absolutely beyond me. He's in double figures for both goals and assists this season. Been Leeds' pivotal player going forward. He's relished playing in this Bielsa system so far, but he couldn't find his way into the official team. Alan Brown has been unbelievable for Preston this season and is, in my opinion, probably one of the more underrated number 10s in the league. He scored 11 goals and picked up 4 assists. I've also gone for John McGinn in midfield from Aston Villa. I could have gone for Jack Grealish. That one's up for debate really, but with Grealish missing quite a sizable amount of the season being injured, I decided to go for John McGinn instead. Joe Lolly's going to make it into this team as well. Been Forest's best player this season. He scored 8 goals and got 9 assists. Then for my forward three, I decided to throw in 2 Brentford players, Ben Rama and Neil Maupay. Despite Brentford not really having the best of seasons by their standards, their attacking play has been absolutely sublime. Neil Maupay has 27 goal contributions this season, and Ben Rama has scored 9 goals and got 11 assists. And then to finish off the team, I had to go for Emi Buendia, a bit of a favourite of mine on the channel this season, but he scored 7 goals and got 9 assists. One of the biggest ballers in the championship. He's just brilliant to watch. Norwich should be promoted to the Premier League this season, and next year, if he is playing in the Premier League, I'm really looking forward to seeing how he adapts in there. But as you can see on screen now, guys, that is once again my championship team of the season of players who didn't make it in to the official lineup. So let me know in the comments down below if you agree with those selections. Let me know down below who has been your best player this season so far, and do you agree with the EFL's picks for the best team this season? Apart from that, guys, that will now wrap up for this video. So if you did go on to enjoy, make sure you do leave a like. It is always massively appreciated. Leave all your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm interested to get some debates going down there. And make sure you do subscribe for some regular championship content. But apart from that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.